Hey, let's go. Welcome back to the show as we look at the post-trade deadline. Who won? Which players are better off in a fantasy world? Which are not? And who kind of stayed the same? But before we get to that, as we always do to open the show, we begin by asking you the question, where else would you rather be than right here? Boom! Right now. You are looking live at our split studios. This is Fantasy Baseball Now, episode 49, right?
Episode 49, yes.
49. The Ron Guidry Show.
The Ron Guidry
part of our show, part of the Ball9.com podcast.
Louisiana
network.
Lightning Edition.
Yes. How are you? How was Washington, D.C.? Hopefully better than Mackenzie Gore is tonight.
It was good. I learned unequivocally two things. The Capitol Police don't have any sense of humor anymore. None. And they might not have had a sense of humor because I wanted to take a dump on the steps of the Capitol. And I wasn't going to tell them I was doing it, but as I was whipping my pants, I think they got the idea that's what was going on. And then my dog who obeys partially did not finish it off. So it was a little disappointing. They were pretty clear. That you're not allowed to defecate on the Capitol steps. I'm like, I paid for it. I should be able to do whatever I want.
Rules anymore.
That's when they didn't have a sense of humor. No, Washington was great. Brushed up on my French. A lot of French tourists.
Yeah, and good thing for you, you were able to go get away for a weekend, get away from your troubles, and you only had about 88 text messages per hour reminding you of the New York Yankees weekend adventure.
Yeah,
in South Florida.
My so-called friends. Yep. Jesus Christ.
We're just trying to keep you up to speed.
Talk about digging a hole and filling it in with a backhoe. My God, you guys are ruthless. I don't even care anymore.
Oh boy. Anyhow.
I can't even get upset about it. It's just they are what they are. This is a fantasy baseball show. We're not here to talk about the Yankees. Though some Yankees will come up, I'm sure, in the conversation tonight. And in addition to the post-trade deadline extravaganza, stock up, stock down. I'll have a little fun with a stock up based on a late change by my partner. And who stayed the same. We'll also do start them, sit them, who's hot, who's not, go get them, cut them, blah, all that we usually do. But most importantly, thanks already to the 22 that have jumped on, but smash the like button, follow us on Facebook, follow us on Spotify, follow us on YouTube. It occurred to me tonight would have been the ideal night to open with Crazy Train because we would have been off the consciousness of the YouTube police who were not happy. We're not talking about me, Bob. Who are not happy that we tribute to Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah, for those that missed it, our Ozzy tribute was not welcomed by the YouTube police. They removed the video, and oh well. That's the way it goes. All right, trade deadline stock up.
It was frantic.
It got crazy. It got crazy. Some guys
AJ Preller doing AJ Preller things. Holy crap.
Yeah, look, thanks for bringing that up. Because let me tell you something. And he'll talk more about that in my stock down part. They traded a shitload of young talent for a setup guy.
Yeah.
Because that's where he is right now.
Look, DeVries, and I did, when we talked about dynasty players and under 25s, I did mention them. But then I saw a list of prospects that the Yankees have traded in the last 3 years. It's like 12 guys.
Yeah.
And the only one that's contributing is Austin Romine. That's it.
Well, that's the thing with prospects. You don't know.
The kid on the Marlins, catcher on the Marlins. That's it.
You don't know about these kids. He's 18. You got to see, right?
To quote former MLB radio star, one of my favorite shows, to quote Casey Sturm, as I do often, prospects are cool, parades are cooler.
Yes, they are.
And if you're not willing to trade, if you have a window and you're not willing to trade prospects to try to help that window, then you're the Pirates.
Well, that bullpen, which was the best in baseball to begin with, just got a lot better. Now, when we talk about Mason Miller a little bit on my end, his fantasy stock took a hit, unless you're in a league that has sensibilities to have saves plus holds, which we do not.
No.
It hurts him. But let's start with stock up.
Let's start with stock up. You go first.
Yeah, the Carlos Correa.
I don't agree with your first one, but you go first.
I just like him down in Houston. I think it's a good setting for him. He's familiar with it. He can go back to cheating and hear the garbage cans and wear his wires. Why not? What's not to like?
I hadn't considered that.
You know, I kind of feel bad for Joe Ryan. He's like the last guy on the boat in Minnesota. Everybody else is gone. But this may put some life into Correa, and you know, maybe he can go get some third base eligibility in some of these leagues with Pena back now, and that to me makes him more valuable. We both have Chris Paddock. I'm gonna forget what he did tonight. His first start against his old team.
Actually, his second start against his old team.
Oh, it was okay.
Yeah, he started last week against him, and he pitched pretty well.
All right, sorry, I missed that one.
But
I like
before you talk about Paddock.
Yeah.
At 7:30, Chris Paddock was not on this list.
No, he was not.
Would you like to share who was on this list?
JP Sears was on it.
Oh, and why isn't he anymore, Sean?
Well, he was optioned out to AAA. He was so dominant last night in his debut for the Padres. They sent him to the minors. I texted him like, "You got to get my boy Sears off the list because."
Well, they played later than the Yankees because Jake Bird got sent down as he was walking off the mound in Texas.
Yeah. So I think JP Sears will be productive for San Diego, and congratulations to him for playing for a Major League Baseball franchise now. I don't know what the hell happened to him last night. I think he'll be back. I think he'll give them some innings the rest of this year. So he's on my team in our league. He's gonna sit down for a little bit till he gets his P's and Q's in order before he comes back up.
Yeah.
The other thing I like that good for the young Oriole outfield. Actually, all their young players too. Now you get a chance to play.
Yeah.
Right. Laureano's gone. Good for him going to San Diego. Hearn, same thing. But now the O's can at least find out what do they have with some of these kids, and that's something they should have done a year ago. They should have figured it out a year ago.
Yep.
Love Duran going to Philly because now he gets to play in a baseball crazy city. The team going for a division title and looking for a big postseason run. And he got a heck of a reception down there the other night. I was watching that, and I like Brian Hayes leaving Pittsburgh again. Welcome to a big league franchise in Cincinnati, and going to be part of a pennant race. And I think he can really help the Reds.
So two interesting things. One, first with Hayes, he would have 15 more career home runs had he played at Great America Park than PNC. So home, because people got nothing better to do, they tracked fly-out distance at PNC and compared it to Great America Ballpark, and in his time, he'd have 15 more career home runs.
Wow.
The Yohan Duran walk-up music is one of the most interesting scenarios I've ever heard of. And it's interesting in that was his walk-up in Minnesota. And Minnesota sent the Phillies everything.
Really?
They sent him everything. They sent him all the graphic, they sent him all the music, they sent him all the timing, they sent him the whole choreographed entrance. And Philly just put the Philly spin on it, including the scoreboard lighting up and saying the lights going off and the scoreboard saying take out your phones. That's part of it. And it was electric. It was electric in that place. Like they need to be louder.
Yeah, right.
That's a home run trade for the Phillies. I think that's the best trade of the deadline because they needed it in the worst way And he is inconsistent, and he is gonna give him, he's gonna give him a little heartburn from time to time. But he's 50 times better than anybody that was closing. And Alvarado comes back next week. For me, Tyler Locklear, he's going to play every day. He needed to come up. I don't know why he wasn't playing in Seattle. I mean, he was drafted in 22, but he was killing it in the Pacific Coast League. So he's going to play every day, and he's a left-hand bat. There's no difference in power projection between Seattle and Arizona, none at all. So I like Locklear. I like Ryan McMahon getting paroled from Colorado. He's going to be in a lineup because his glove's going to play. Loreno really helps the Padres. He's not as great defensively as he used to be, but his bat plays. I like Paddock. I like Charlie Morton going to Detroit as well. And whatever they got going there, they seem to make it work. And I like the Jesus Sanchez acquisition by Houston. They needed a power lefty bat. Maybe being in a place that cares every day, though the Marlins are playing like they care every day.
But not having to be a Yankee fan.
But not having to platoon and being in the lineup and not having to, and knowing he's going to get at bats all the time. Because the Marlins have 5 outfielders that they like to play, and Houston barely has 2 right now. So now they've got 3. I like that move for them a lot. Stock down. These are pretty easy, frankly.
Yeah, there you can sense a trend.
If I can get my yeah. Well, wait a minute. Oh, for those of you watching, we are still interviewing for a producer because the production staff's not great. I'll go first on this one. Willie Castro going to Chicago and being a platoon player for him, but he's not going to get regular at bats like he did in Minnesota, so his value definitely dropped. Cam Doval, I mean, I'd say he's never going to close, but Jesus, for the last 4 days, who the hell knows? Maybe he will, but he's not going to close like he was in. He's not going to close like he was in San Francisco. I like the pickup, the fit for Caballero by the Yankees. He's not going to get regular at bats.
Yeah, that's the problem.
He's going to play a little outfield. He's going to play. He'll give Jazz a day off. He'll give Volpe a day off. Maybe he'll give McMahon a day off, but he's not going to get regular at bats. He's not going to be in a lineup enough to have any real fantasy value. Zach Littell's going to go from being a starter on the Rays, which is a 5-inning gig. We all know that, to being maybe in the Nick Martinez type role, especially as they get Hunter Green back. Looks like next week he's going to make one more rehab start. And then basically what the other 16 guys that were left in the locker room in Minnesota after they nuked their team, you can have all the offense in the world. If you don't have any pitching, it's kind of hard to win games, but they're still playing hard. But who knows who's going to close there? Who knows who's going to start there half the time? I mean, Twins fans are out of their minds, and rightfully so. And they're right to feel that way.
Yeah, Twins, I have Joe Ryan on my list. Just I feel bad for the guy. He's having a great year. He's an all-star and everything, and now he's lazy. He's, if wins are a category, you're screwed there because they don't care about winning.
Yep.
Little Yankees suck. That's 3 Yankee references tonight. 39.5 more to hit the over-under.
Yeah, I don't. I mean.
So and then my other guys,
I don't know right now.
Like Kyle Finnegan, yeah, okay, his fantasy relevance again, unless you're in a league with holds and saves, you're probably taking a hit on him. Same with Mason Miller. I'm happy he gets to play for a big league franchise finally, but so far he looks like the 8th inning guy. And God forbid I don't go off on a tangent for next year. there's thought that the Pods may try and make him a starter. Don't do it. Don't do it. The A's did it in 23, hurt his arm after maybe 3 or 4 starts, maybe 5.
Yeah.
His arm isn't built to be a starter. He's a
No.
reliever, and he's a closer. And now he's insurance if Suarez blows up. But the best bullpen in baseball, in a baseball sense, just got better.
Yeah, they're a 4-inning start team now.
Yeah, but from a fantasy standpoint, Mason Miller and Ryan Hesley, because Diaz is the closer in New York, right?
Yeah,
and that's the way it goes. And we talked about this in the off season. What happens with all these closers go in a fantasy sense? It throws things into craziness at the end of July every year. But the other guy who I think is a loser here is Devin Williams, and he blew one last night.
he did.
He's got Bednar. He wasn't part of that disaster in Miami the other night in a 13-12 loss.
No,
But the heat is on Devin Williams with Bednar right there.
Yeah.
Breathing on him. He can't have many more.
Yeah.
He can't have many more of those, or else he's going to end up in the 8th inning role or 7th inning. So he picked up a lot of heat by all the transactions that the Yankees brought in.
So while Ted's talking about the Rangers bullpen and Curveo looked really, really good last night, I am surprised. I'm really surprised. Yeah, Randy Rodriguez blew a save last night. Williams blew a save last night. Helsley got the loss, and Kyle Finnegan got a save for Detroit. That's unbelievable. I am surprised that the Rangers didn't do something to help their bullpen.
Yes, that was a great move.
I think, and we'll go to no change, because I don't think his value changed. He is what he is, but on a very similar team, right? Teams that they'll scratch for runs, but he's going to be pitching in a pennant race now, and the Diamondbacks are not in that. I'm surprised. I'm more surprised that they added a starter, which is probably insurance, and to lengthen. And they added Colomb to the Rangers, but that's to help with the innings limit for Rocker and Leiter, and maybe they slip into the bullpen from time to time as well, especially as good as Eovaldi and DeGrom have been, and John Gray's back. So I was a little surprised that they didn't make a move for a closer. I mean, Harrison Bader was playing every day in Minnesota for the most part. I don't know how much more value he's going to have, though he homered last night. Steven Matz, he may end up being a closer there the way they are. It was interesting that the Blue Jays picked up Bieber, and it was just as equally as interesting that the Guardians traded him.
Yeah.
I think he's 2 rehab starts into. I mean, still saying maybe September 1. And I don't know what to make of Grichuk, because I thought he was going to get more regular at bats, but then they traded for Yaz, and Yaz has been starting in right field for them since he got traded. And Grichuk has played, but I think he's in kind of a rotation of outfield and DH, and I don't think he's going to get many more at bats than he did in Arizona. Yeah, the Guardians did get a really good player back, a really good prospect back. So it does make sense. And Bieber's a free agent. And so you've got Sanchez as no change, and I had him as stock up. What?
I have him as no change just because I think he's going to have a good impact in Houston the way he was in Miami. So I don't think he's, other than going to a team playing for a division title, somebody else in the, that's from last night. Sorry. I saw a Yankee being escorted to the field by a trainer, but that was Slater last night. I think Sanchez is going to help Houston. I think his fantasy value probably stays the same. Same with Cedric Mullins. I like him. I think he's going to do well for the Mets. Is he going to do better than he was doing for the Orioles? Probably not. Suarez is a monster. I think he's going to be fine. Same with Naylor. And Dustin May is on here as no change because, quite frankly, he sucks. And he's sucked in LA, and he's going to suck in Boston. So I wouldn't go out and buy Dustin May just because he's in Boston.
No. The interesting thing about Suarez and Naylor, and I referenced that when we talked about Arizona, when we talked about Locklear, is that their numbers are their numbers. They're not going to get a power bump.
Exactly.
And Naylor's power's down, but his average and productivity, his average is up significantly, and his productivity is about the same. But he's not going to get a power. He's not going to get a power bump being traded to the Mariners. The Mariners, who have the second best record in baseball since July 1.
Yeah. Just because it says stock neutral doesn't mean they're not going to be impactful. They're going to. They're probably going to keep doing what they were doing with Arizona earlier this year, which is fantastic, right? I like Naylor, love Suarez. He's having an incredible year.
Ted, I do like Jacob Marseille a lot. I do like him. I mean, he's a stolen base maniac, but I think that's probably why the Sanchez trade made sense for them. They needed to get him up and get him in the lineup with Cowers and whoever else they're playing in that outfield. I mean, Marseille looked good. I mean, they all did this weekend. So it's kind of hard to say that he's going to be great, but I mean, a lot of players on teams were that made trades were benefited from trades to open up spots. I mean, the Marlins see it with Marseille. Teams empty. I mean, you're going to see with the Twins, like they're going to call guys up, and we'll see.
Yep.
We'll see. I mean, Dylan Beavers is the next outfield prospect for the Orioles to come up. We'll see. Does this mean Kobe Mayo played all the time for a little bit? I mean,
why not?
Think so. Well,
see if he can handle it.
They're certainly not going anywhere.
No.
I mean, they're certainly not going anywhere. So
give all those kids a look. Cowser, Kerstad, let them all play and see. And you get a 6 or 7 week sample size to carry
it's certainly
over into next year.
I mean, it's certainly better than the old September 1st call up where you'd see them for 18 games, and maybe they'd play 10 out of 18 games, or maybe they were in the playoffs and AAA. Maybe they were in the playoffs in AAA, and they didn't come up until September 15th or 16th, and they were there for 4 or 5 days, and you have no idea. Like they went to spring training, it's just the same. And they're playing against guys that were also called up in September. So now they're playing against teams that are in it. They're going to get a real shot. I mean, we'll see. I'm surprised that the Cubs didn't make a move with trying to trade Cassie to get. I mean, they did get a starting pitcher who immediately went on the IL after his first start in Soroka with a shoulder injury. That's not good. The Pirates holding on to Keller shocked me, but trading Falter, that didn't seem. Ben Cherington did not do a great job. Pirate fans were already furious. They're livid now. I mean, they are livid. One of the catchers they got back from in the Bednar trade will probably be their opening day catcher next year. He's catching Bubba Chandler tonight.
What about Henry Davis, right?
Yeah, but he's hitting 190. And
former number one overall pick.
And it's 2 years of this. And Andy Rodriguez can't stay healthy. He was a former number one overall pick.
Well, that goes back to what we're talking about prospects. Right?
Yeah.
You mortgage your present for prospects. You don't know what you're going to get.
No, you have no idea. But you get enough of them. I mean, the Diamondbacks added about 23 arms to their organization. So 3 of them have to turn out to be pretty good, I would expect. And I mean, I guess maybe they're going to try to make a push to keep Zach Gallen. Maybe they made that decision.
Yeah.
Or their ask was pretty high because the rumored asks were high. You're right, Ted.
You're right, Ted, and that's why I'm talking about. The A's traded Mason Miller. They're only one of their few marketable. They're only marketable pitcher for sure, and closer for some kids that may or may not help in a few years. sometimes it's not worth. Now, you could be the Nationals and you get James Wood, Abram, Gore in the Soto trade, and sometimes it works.
Yeah.
But more times than not, it doesn't.
And you get Kelbert Ruiz. You get, they just keep getting good young players. Good thing, because apparently they can't develop anybody. But I guess that's a way to do it. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, you're not going to pay them. You play them till they're great, and then you reload off everybody else's hard work. Hasn't worked. All right, who's hot?
Who's hot?
It's Brewer night. Look at they're both getting
night.
shit dumped on them because they're getting celebrated for doing great. The friggin' Brewers. We were talking about this before we came on. We still can't figure out why they're as good as they are. Nobody knows, right? Nobody knows.
Yep. And they finally brought Logan Henderson back. It took Mizorowski to go on the IL.
Yeah, Mizorowski goes on the IR. They bring up Logan Henderson.
Yep.
Churio goes on the IL. Isaac Collins gets to play.
Isaac Collins, baby.
Sal Frelick gets hurt again. They plug somebody else. They just keep plugging guys in. So
all they have to do now is ditch
those uniforms. They need a first baseman. They resurrect the career of Andrew Young. Andrew Vaughn.
They need to ditch those uniforms that are in that picture and wear the Friday night unis from Harvey Wallbanger's group in the early 80s.
Yeah.
Wear those all the time. Come on. But Isaac Collins, not going to lie, never heard of him till the other day. Picked him up on my fantasy team. He's ranked 49th in CBS in the last 21 days. 357 average, 2 homers, 12 RBIs, 9 runs. Had a 3-run homer last night. Yeah, that's a pretty good fill-in. He's only owned in 18% of the leagues and started in 14. So those that have him, those that know about him, are starting him, which is a good move. So, like I always say, ride that hot wave when you can. And right now, the Brewers are, to me, they're the most fun team to watch in baseball right now.
Yeah, and Andrew Vaughn. I mean, if you get DFA'd by the White Sox, you suck. and they trade him for. I mean, I don't even know. They got Savali back, who didn't want to be in the bullpen. But his last 21, he's also 357, 4 homers, 14 RBIs, 10 runs. He's up to 68% ownership and 59% start. And first base is a little dicey from time to time, especially if it's a corner infielder roster as well. But he's got 2 RBIs again tonight. Like, he just keeps getting key hits, and look, they slap the ball all over the place. Ted makes a great point. Like, they're they got great patience. They don't strike out. They don't hit home runs. They just put the ball in play and score runs. And they score enough and when they get great pitching and they don't need to score runs, they still score runs. They are a fun team to watch.
It's funny. I was going to have Shea Langoliers as my who's hot guy. He's only 4 for 5 tonight, 3 runs, 3 RBIs, in a leadoff role for the Athletics. But you got to give the Brewers their props.
They had to put somebody there that could produce, because Lawrence Butler's still spinning,
man. He's got one of the lowest batting averages in baseball since like July 4th. It's awful.
Yeah, it's not good.
The worst, by the way, is James Wood.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I saw the graphic on MLB Network earlier.
Is that picture of Soto when he was talking about how much money you lost by not making the All-Star team?
Here's the thing. Here's why I'm going to pick on Juan Soto a little bit. He just looks like the guy who got the bag and doesn't give a shit. Is that just how his demeanor is when he's playing all the time?
Yeah.
You could be loosey-goosey and look like you're having fun, but not when you're hitting 179 in the last couple of weeks, because guess what? He just looks aloof to me. It's August. It's the dog days. You got that monster contract. You got to deliver. There's expectations when you sign that paper, and he's not doing it. And he very well probably will at some point the rest of the way for the Mets. But right now, he is not hot.
Yeah, look, admittedly, I'd rather watch Blue Blood reruns than watch a Mets game, unless they're down 9-1 in the 7th. That's when I turn them on, so I can hear the Met announcers just go crazy. So yeah, I mean, I'm a huge Soto fan, but he's not having a good. I mean, it's not like Lindor, who went from Cleveland in the middle of obscurity to New York and pressed to earn the money and then turned it around. He's much better than he's playing. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
And Tanner Bybee, my gosh, his last three, 16 2/3 with a 1.38 WHIP and a 5.9 ERA. But oddly enough, he's 2-0 in those starts, and he's 17 Ks to 2 walks. So that K in inning is higher than is about 12% higher than his season average. So Soto's 36. Soto's birth certificate got lost in the paperwork from the Dominican. I mean, he's still 8. I mean, I'm not cutting Bybee by any stretch of the imagination, not even a little bit. But I mean, he's down to 50% started. I would not be starting him right now. But yeah, not good. He's been their least effective starter in the last 3 weeks, and that doesn't help them one bit. I love this one.
Yeah. Go ahead. You start with Locklear.
Well, we talked about him a little bit, and so I mean, he's a 2022 second-round pick out of Virginia Commonwealth. I mean, he was 316 with 19 homers, 82 RBIs, 70 runs, and 18 stolen bases, and a 401 on-base percentage at AAA. So, I mean, they knew they had to give up to get, and I guess they just didn't feel like playing a rookie at first base fit into the window that they think they have with that pitching staff to make some noise in the postseason. I mean, his K rate was 22% in the minors, but his walk rate was 12. So he's 2-to-1 K to walk, which is not bad. And he's a lefty hitter. I know Ted loves that. Me too. He's up to 21% ownership, but he's going to play every day. I mean, he's 100% owned in every National League and every National League only league. That's for sure. But he's a go get him. And your guys are go get him too.
Yeah, my guy owned in 55% of leagues, started in 35. I can guarantee you those numbers were not the same a week ago. In the last 21, he's ranked 19th in CBS. The best part about Montgomery, depending on your league rules, he very well might have dual eligibility already. He had 14 games at shortstop, 11 at third base. I had Jeremy Pena come off the IL on Sunday, and at first I was going to put him in the lineup and sit Montgomery down. And then Montgomery hit another home run Sunday. He's got 7 home runs and 58 at-bats with 21 RBIs.
He leads the majors in RBIs since the All-Star break.
You know, the funny part about it was his AAA numbers weren't jumping off the page.
He's on the White Sox too. Don't forget that.
He's on the White Sox.
He leads the majors in RBIs since the All-Star break, and he plays for the friggin' White Sox.
But his AAA numbers weren't off the charts, but they brought him up anyway, and he's raking. He's in my lineup this week. I kept Pena on the bench. I'm like, I'm going to take it while I can. I would absolutely love him to get third base eligibility. I can move him over. I got Miguel Garcia there, and he's having a nice year for the Royals, but he doesn't give me any power. Not that it matters to my last place shit team, but anyhow.
I thought Ted was right about the White Sox, by the way. He wasn't as right as he wanted to be, but he was right that they were going to be considerably better than they were last year. And they are considerably better than they were last year. The record doesn't necessarily show that, but they're a much, much better team. And they're young. They got some really exciting young players on that offensive side. And they still have Luis Robert.
And they still have Luis Robert, who is absolutely on fire since the All-Star break.
Yeah, but another shocking guy that didn't get traded.
Yes.
Very surprised. Apparently they want a lot. And they're right to ask a lot. And then go cut him.
You're picking on the Met?
You probably already regret yours because he's on fire for the last 3 days.
No, I don't. I like Kerry Carpenter. He's owned in 82% of leagues. He started in 61. I really like him. I've had him on my team. He was on my team in our 5x5 league. He was on my head-to-head team. The problem with Kerry Carpenter is Earlier in the year, he was getting starts against lefties. Lately, he's not. And unless you're in a daily league, he's a tough guy to play.
Yeah.
Okay. He's got 19 homers. That's great. I don't know what he's doing tonight. 3 in his last 5 games since coming off the IL. But in the 8 games since coming off the IL heading into tonight, 5 starts, 2 pinch hits, 1 at bat, and he sat again. He's not playing against lefties. So he's a frustrating guy to put in your lineup when he's not going to play every day. I mean, when I had him on my team, I think the last week I had him before he got hurt, he was facing 3 lefties and Paul Skeens that week. I couldn't play him.
Yeah.
He didn't play.
Yeah. Yep.
You got guys in your active lineup, you need him on the field, and he's just not playing enough against lefties. And I think that's the problem with him. He got picked up in our 5x5 league this week. His numbers are pretty good. His RBI sucks. 19 homers, 30 RBIs. You would expect some more, but he's not on the field enough to warrant to have in your active lineup.
Yep. No, I
He
agree.
goes in that category. Let somebody else make the mistake.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, especially in Roto. Head to head, he can still give some value, but Roto, no, you need to compile.
Exactly.
My
I
guy-
like the player. I really do. I wish he would just play more.
I mean, Frankie Montas taking a knee between pitches because he has enough time because people are running around the bases like Bugs Bunny. He's at 24% owned. He's down from 40 this week. So after Sunday, when he got completely obliterated on Sunday to make his last, I mean, he's made 7 starts. He's got a 1.5 ERA. He's got a 1.5 WHIP, a 6.6 ERA. He's still 7% started, which is just people not paying attention. That's on the year. The last 3 starts are worse than that. Like his last 3 starts, his ERA is 9.
Wow.
And the Met pitching, I mean, it's good they built a bullpen. That's good. But Montas is a mess. Manaya's 3 innings, and then you're rolling the dice. Holmes is running out of gas. McGill's hurt, and he's not going to really help him when he comes back. The league's catching up to him a little bit. And Senga's been kind of iffy. I mean, their record is still good. They should score enough runs to win a lot of games, but man.
And by the way, congratulations to you, Darvish, after I shoveled all that dirt on your career last week. Welcome back.
Yeah. Well, Justin Verlander sent me a thank you card since his last 3 starts, he's throwing 98 again, and nobody can get a hit off him.
Yeah, right.
He made a diving play on the mound the other day, and his life alert bracelet went off, and a bunch of people ran on the field to help him.
Had to help the old guy up.
I've fallen and I can't get up. We'll look ahead. So we'll look ahead to next week. I like that. I like that. Stack the Phillies in daily fantasy, man.
Stack the Phillies,
Holy
baby.
Smokes.
Go to Great American Ballpark for 3, and then a quartet of games in the nation's capital.
Yeah, try to find a couple of 50-cent guys you can throw in your daily lineup.
Yeah,
on FanDuel and DraftKings, because you want to stack that as much as you possibly can next week.
Yeah, I saw that on the schedule. I said, all right, this is a layup this week for the hitters for next week.
And Washington will be Phillies home games.
Oh, yeah? How far of a drive is that?
It's 2.5 hours. It's 60 minutes by train, and 30th Street to Union Station, which is a 2-block walk to the ballpark, is a 60-minute train ride. And every time the Phillies are in Washington, it sounds like it's Baltimore the same, but Washington, it sounds like a home game.
Yeah.
And I like the Royals. I like anytime somebody's facing the White Sox, I tend to trend toward that lineup. The Royals are starting to score runs. So their offense is, they're not doing it tonight, but the Royals are starting to score some runs, especially at home. And they've got the Nationals, whose pitching is basically falling off the deep end. And the White Sox, who, maybe they get in some slugfest, but the White Sox haven't really provided any. The White Sox need a lot of pitching help. to take the next step.
Yeah, I hate to keep picking on the Nats. Last week, I said stack your Oakland Athletics for this week. In their first game, they had 12 runs through in the 8th inning tonight. So
Yeah,
I'm not right very often, but I got to take a victory lap when you can.
they're about to get more since the bases are loaded.
Beautiful.
For the bases are loaded for Rooker of all people. Oof.
It's because they didn't want to pitch to Kurtz.
No.
And Paddock.
Yeah.
I like Paddock again next week with the White Sox, and the Twinkies. Your guy's interesting. Is he saving Aaron Boone's job tonight?
Right now he is. It's no score in the bottom of the 4th, so he's off. He's pitching. He's pitching well. I mean, the one thing about him, so I mean, he's up to 110 innings, so that's a little concerning. But I mean, his ERA is 1.4, so he gives up some hits. His ERA, his WHIP's 1.4, his ERA is 4.6. He's got 128 strikeouts in 110 innings. So
yeah,
I mean, he is 69% owned, but so he's still gettable if you need a 2-start pitcher next week and pretty favorable matchups. I mean, the Twins, we'll see, right? I mean, we'll see what happens, and the Cardinals, they can't keep guys healthy enough to have a full lineup anyway. So they certainly don't score any runs. And I guess when you're down 9-0 in the 3rd every night because you're starting pitching, except for recently Sonny Gray, stinks. You start pressing, you're never gonna get in a game.
Double off the wall by Jock Peterson, by the way, but
yeah,
open the 4th. No, I like Warren. He was the big surprise. He was the guy when he won the 5th job. I don't think anybody had a whole lot of expectation on him, but his strikeout rate's been great. I'll show you. He'll
warming up in the bullpen for the Nats.
Yeah. Bleda's had a big night. He had a big home run early. Hey, before we cut people loose, I gotta ask you about Aaron Boone and the Yankees. I'm not even picking on you here. I want a legit conversation, an adult conversation here on the show.
You're asking a lot.
Yes, I am. And I'm not even taking a tweak at you, but
maybe we should bring in a couple of adults and we'll have an adult conversation.
Is it the worst idea to shake it up a little bit?
Who replaces him? Brad Ausmus for the rest of the year? That's the answer. That's the answer. Well, Aaron Boone's not the one that had to make all the trades to fix a bullpen and had to get a third baseman at the trade deadline. He didn't build that roster.
Yep.
It's the friggin' Supreme Court judge that's the general manager. They both need to go.
How long's Cashman been there?
The question is, Hal's not going to fire Cashman because Cashman does exactly what Hal wants him to do. Yep. And as long as the Nerd Room and Cashman have input into the lineup, because I can't imagine when a guy gets 3 hits, Aaron Boone's first thing is to not put him in the lineup the next night. No way. It better not be, or he's the worst manager that ever stepped foot in a dugout. It can't be. So I mean, Boone does what they tell him to do. He goes along. It was interesting to see. I don't know whose podcast Lance Lynn was on, because they talk about no accountability, and A-Rod talked about it this past weekend, and Jeter talked about it a little bit too, that there needs to be accountability. You know, if we got doubled off or if we didn't run to first base, we would have got our ass benched by Joe T. And he's right. It would have happened. Lynn said Boone says what needs to be said, but he says it in the locker room where there's not. He's never going to show a player up. He's never going to show him up in the media. He's just not. He's never going to do it.
The players love him.
It's not his style, and that's good. But
the players love Aaron Boone, right?
Yeah, that's a problem.
That's the problem. They're not afraid of him.
I mean, you can love your manager all you want. I'm sure the Brewers players love Pat Murphy, but Pat Murphy gets in their face.
I think
Pat Murphy gets in their face.
The most troubling thing of the weekend was Jazz saying after Boone took him down the runway, after the game, after presumably somebody said, "Here's what you say tonight" to the media, where he said, "I would make that same move again next time."
Yeah.
That's just stupid.
I don't know what it is, because for everybody that scouts the minors says no team in baseball spends more time working on defense and base running in their minor league and throughout their minors than the Yankees. I don't know what happens when they get to the major leagues. They forget all that. They run the bases poorly. There's too many things that's a direct reflection of the manager, and he's a pretty laid back guy, and they're a pretty laid back team.
Yep.
And they don't need to be a laid back team. They need to be playing like the Red Sox are playing for Cora, with some fire. They need to be playing with some fire. I mean, I would have thought for sure Toronto would have had Don Mattingly as their manager by Memorial Day. Well, clearly no. They love him.
Yep.
He's fiery. Right? I mean, the Yankees and the Braves are the two teams to me right now that would warrant a managerial change, and neither of them are going to do it. The Braves may in the off season.
Once Brian Snitker hit June 1, he wasn't going to.
Should you drop or hold Mackenzie Gore? I would not cut Mackenzie Gore, but I would not start him under any circumstance for right now. That's just me. I mean, he has not been good for a month.
No, I would hold on to him though.
But I would not. I especially wouldn't get rid of him if I was in a dynasty league, because if they trade him in the offseason, who knows where he's going to end up, and he could end up someplace that is really good for him. This is the Mackenzie Gore. This is the Mackenzie Gore that was every year before this year, before the first half of this season, is what we're getting right now.
He took one for the team tonight.
Well, it didn't help. I mean, he gave up 8, and the bullpen's tacked another 8
on. 3 innings, 8 runs, 12 hits, a walk, no strikeouts. Wow.
Well, at least he was pitching to contact.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
They told him to throw strikes. He threw strikes. I mean, you can't fault the guy for that. I can't keep looking at these Red Sox scores. Jesus God. What the hell? What did I say about Grichuk? The guy that's got one of the 2 RBIs tonight? I mean, you knew they were going to be fighting uphill with Crochet on them now. Cutter Crawford had a nice start for them the other night. Bello looked good last night. Wait till they get a load of dust in May. Oof.
Hey, real quick with the Yankees, they're going to make the playoffs?
Yeah, I think they will.
And I asked that Seattle's coming, Texas is coming.
I think they will. I think they're only a game and a half up on Texas and Seattle right now.
Yeah.
I think they will. They have a 16-game stretch coming up where they should win 12, unless the wheels have completely fallen off. And I mean, they've already shown by missing the playoffs that they're not going to make changes that are going to make a difference. So, they have the second highest average home attendance in Major League Baseball. Chicken bucket's $20, a beer's $18, parking's $50. I mean, they're making money like it's like Amazon. So I guess if you're making money and you're relevant and you're selling a shitload of merchandise, and you want to waste years from the best player you've had on your roster since the captain retired, since Jeter retired, then by all means waste them. Now they got another problem, right? Because apparently Judge is going to DH. He's not going to play in the field at all.
Yeah.
And Stanton is scorching hot right now. I mean, the Austin Slater problem's gone because he tweaked a hamstring last night in his first at bat. Trade deadline shit worked out great for them, man. Jesus God, it's like every single player they traded for. McMahon's been steady, and man, he can pick it. There's no doubt about that. That should, no matter what he hits. I mean, that play last night was like, wow, just crazy how great his glove is. But he's got to hit a little bit. You know, if he hits 240, that'd be great because it was 170 before that.
All right, next week,
hopefully the Yankees aren't on an 11-game losing streak.
We can lead with that if that were happen to be the case.
Yeah, there'll probably be a cardboard cutout of me. There'll probably be cardboard cutout of me. We next week we'll talk about how I don't think I've ever lost in our BF. I don't think I've ever lost.
Lost in what?
I didn't have any losses last year.
Really?
In the knockout pool, I didn't lose one time last year, and I've still
not. The first 3 weeks.
I mean, here we go. I'm going to jinx myself. Ow, that hurts. Missed the hair. I still haven't lost this year.
Wow.
I lost once in football. This knockout pool thing's good for me.
I got my 2 losses out of the way in the first 3 weeks of the season. That's a story of my season this year.
And that was a highlight of your season so far.
An abject disaster.
That was the last time your team was mentioned.
Christ.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. My
wow.
God. Unbelievable. Isaac Collins 1 for 3 with a run and a triple tonight. All right. So we will catch up to you next Tuesday.
Yeah. Thank you all.
8:30. Thanks for joining us.
Nick, Ted, Bob, thanks for chiming in. Appreciate it.
We'll see if Aaron Boone can work some magic in the second half of this game down in Arlington, Texas, eh?
Yeah, we're tied.
Okay. Jazz coming to the plate.
Well, I don't feel good. We're trying to make something happen against Nathan Eovaldi, but it is what it is.
All right. We're out.
Peace.